Hello, chat. Earth to chat. How are we doing? Well, I'm sliding my mic over a little bit. Earth to chat. How are we? Oh. I'm sorry about that one. Oh, look who look who gave themselves 30 jewels. Which I can apparently do, and I didn't know I could actually do. Oh, look who gave themselves a gold coin. Look who gave themselves gold coins and a flower. Look who did that. Crazy. Alright. So, today, we are doing it. We are getting straight into it today. Chat, are we ready? Are we ready to experience what we need to experience? Are we ready for more Perm series today? Because I hope we're ready for more. Alright. Let's get straight into it. Let me get a drink real quick, actually. What? What? Excuse me? I literally just loaded back into my world. Why do I have a fucking... What? Huh? Son of a bitch. I knew this would have... I knew this should have probably happened while I was out my room yesterday. I'll just seal the fountain in a second, maybe. No, we are lacking a little bit in scarlet saplings, I think. Might as well, you know, while we're still here. Something like that. Really, really strange. I'm not sure if I should actually set up countermeasures so that this never happens again, or if it's not actually going to happen again. Oh, so they did it just about as soon as I left. That would have to mean they closed the game, though. They had to have closed the game as soon as they did it. Or almost as soon as they did it, whatever. Um, what's up? So turns out, while I was out of my room yesterday, someone came in and opened another dark fountain. Again. They did it again! I'm hoping this is the last time that happens. Membership badge thingies are still WIP, but they're almost done. Nice. Also, if you check the chat, I sent myself a flower and a gold coin because I was given like 50 free jewels, I suppose. So I used those. The thing I find most hilarious, though, is that YouTube was like, you know what? Let's make these things AI generated, even though we could pay an artist to make them look actually appealing. Does this give me more determination when I sit in it? No, it does not. Suppose I'll just go to the Dark Fountain and seal it already. It's right over here. We can find a dark candy tree nearby. This one over there, I suppose. I'll just... You know what? From now on, I'm probably staying strapped with dark candy just in case I need to refill determination to seal a fountain, like, quickly. Because that's ridiculous, man. Is there any dark candy on this one? Seems to be. We're at 87 right now. Wait a minute, I have a little idea actually. Hold on. Whoa, dark candy crafting table. Wow. I have an idea though. Might as well take a couple of things while I'm here. By things, I of course oh, it won't let me get luminescent water. So I can block. Strange. Can't break it either. Right, well, our determination's 100%. Let's seal this son of a bitch already. We're getting kinda close. We're actually getting more than kinda close right now. We're getting pretty close to it. It's right over there. Let's, go ahead and, seal this thing. Let's get rainbow colored. Let's get this over with. So they did it up here this time. Right. Hoping that never happens again. Where did my bed go? Oh, there it is. Let me just sleep real quick. Might as well, hold on, wait a second. I might as well. Hold on a quick second. I have something to check real quick. Alright, yeah, I might as well go ahead and make a gem cutting table as well. That would require wood, smooth stone. Find some smooth stone real quick. We have quite enough of that, actually. Let's make a gem cutting table. All right. Now we require rarity materials of specific kinds. This will allow us to save space with gems by upgrading them Therefore allowing us to make better gears and sets as well. So, this should be nice. Speaking of, we just got one of these, which I'm hoping helps in a second. The other ones. Oh, we need need 3 scrap metal or we need time-worn fabric of any kind. There we go. So we don't have any time-worn fabric. Because I used it all. Suppose I do have enough mysterious scrap metal, though. Right, now we will want our luminous crystal shards to upgrade these. Now I have a normal Splendor gem, which has saved up 2 different slots, I suppose. I know we might have another one somewhere. Yes, we do. Basically, yes, we can make this a flawless one. Almost. Damn it. Need a couple more things. How about I get rid of every other cracked gem we don't need? So that we can then get a lot more gem dust, and with that... oh, I need 9 arcane sands to turn this into a... turn that into something more useful. Well, at least I can still do this. It is now flawless, and it will give me 5 luck when inserted into armor of any kind. I have 2 of these, actually. This is great. I can also make myself super fast if my boots have extra slots. Alright, so what I can do then... slot this to this. Don't you look at that? Our luck is now sitting at 5. Which is 5 more than having none. So, I mean... 23% mining speed sounds a lot better, especially in practice. Suppose there is another thing we can do here. Fortune 3. What else do we have? We also have, I don't want that actually. Throw that out. Oh, we have another Fortune 3. Let's make this Fortune 4. Mending sounds great until you realize we only have one, so, can't waste it. So we got Fortune 4 on what is essentially a diamond pickaxe but better, but not quite netherite yet. How many diamonds do I actually have at home real quick? Just gonna double check this. Should probably close all the doors, man. What's in this backpack? I never got to check. Okay, there's stuff in this backpack. Oh, we do have 8 diamonds. Lend me your power. Okay. Uh, that was certainly interesting. But, you know. Alright. Down we go. Hello? I suppose this wouldn't be the greatest place to find ores in, because it's a cave I've been to time and time again. So, probably not here, if anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the surface, and I am going to immediately look around for on the world map. I'm going to look around for any surface opening in the world, and I'm going to go to that spot, and I'm going to go into the earth somewhere, wherever that may be. Looking for one relatively close, if that's possible. That doesn't really look like one. That looks more like a yeah, that is a that is a cliff of sorts, about 10 blocks high. Small little rocky shrubland over there that's not an opening in the earth. Uh, Man, still life in lithosphere makes it very hard to find like openings in the ground anywhere, really. Is that one? No, that looks like a structure. That's not what I'm looking for. You know what? Screw it. We're headed to the mountains that are 350 blocks tall. Jesus Christ. 1,000 blocks away. I can handle the trip there. Oh, did I stumble upon something? Discover a derelict laboratory. Guessing that's somewhere down, right? I'm guessing it is not directly down, and I probably discovered the structure nearby. So, oh, that over there probably, right? Oh yeah, that's the one. That's actually going to be interesting to look at. I should be fine. I have a ton of saturation and determination, after all. Don't you look at that? Ouch, I'm poisoned. Well, they still have splash potions in there, so. Oh, empty flasks for Formula Y. Interesting. Oh, poison's gonna last for like 13 more seconds. That's pretty annoying. Oh, book and quill. Does this just have the instructions written in it? Nothing. I was gonna do a little bit where it was gonna be like, these creatures, they're mutants. We didn't mean to mutate them. We only meant to make something special, something more. The ancient builders wanted something special, so I decided to make something special for the ancient builders. Unfortunately, my hubris has gotten the better of me, and I have unfortunately done something completely unbelievable. Unbelievable in the sense that we are probably going to die here. I didn't want it to come to this, but unfortunately, it would seem that this is going to happen either way. We are going to die down here because of these mutant creatures, and there is nothing that we can do about them other than destroy the staircase, preventing them from going to the surface. I dare wish no one comes back down here to see what has been going on. We do not want any of these experiments to go back to the surface to keep all of the ancient builders safe. And thus they did. They blew it up with TNT. And here we are. Now, I'm curious, right? I have to know what mutant more formula Y. Okay, so component Y, nether wart, gunpowder, golden carrot, fermented spider eye, crying obsidian. Okay, so we do actually need all of these materials. What was it again? Nether wart. Okay. Just gonna do it in a line here. Gunpowder. Yeah. Golden carrot. Fermented spider eye and crying obsidian. This is the order we need to do this in. So, let's start with nether wart, guys. Trust me on this one. We are going to be making the creatures that these people sought not to let onto the surface. These mutant creatures, so to speak. I'm going to bookmark this website. Formulas. My secret formulae. And then we need a golden carrot. And then we need fermented spider eye. And then, all we need now, chat, to unleash the horrors upon our world is crying obsidian. They did not want these things to reach the surface. But now we have the power to create these things. A 10% mutate chance. Only 10%. They made it as little potent as possible to prevent these things from being anywhere on the surface. These deadly things that could very much kill any and everything in sight. The experiment broke out. They had to blow up the staircase, chat. They had to trap it so that no one who comes down here would discover Formula Y and Component Z. No, Compound Z, I meant. They didn't want anyone to discover the horrible power of mutants. Mutants that could kill and maim many on the surface, chat. They wanted all the ancient builders to be safe, but now that they're gone, I have reason to believe that I could find use in some of the drops that they drop. As a man much more powerful than any of the ancient builders, I will absolutely Shrek the hell out of any mutant creatures. These creatures are mutants, chat. And I will do what is necessary to make sure that their research was not in vain, chat. I will make sure that their research does not end up being for nothing. I alone will create a golden age for myself with this recipe. And I solemnly hope that none of the mutants I create, that I encounter... Oh, hold on a minute. I solemnly hope that whatever mutants I end up encountering are not super bosses. Any kind. Right. Oh. Compound Z, Formula Y. Interesting. Right. Hold on a minute here. I'm guessing they want me to put these other two in here. Oh, this one doesn't even come with a book and quill this time, so I can't make up a story. Alright, what is the recipe? Okay, so you need compound Y for this. Which is why, they give one to you. There's a lot of things you need for this, actually. What the hell? Wait a minute, Skull Catalyst. Is there any Skull Catalyst? I don't see any. Wait, so glowstone dust. Chat, we're making it. We're making Compound Z, which should hopefully have a better rate of making things a mutant. We now need a golden apple. Not a golden carrot, a golden apple. Golden apple, chat. And now we require the souls of the damned in a bottle of enchanting. The souls of the damned. The souls of the damned that lay down in this forsaken bunker. Now we require prismarine crystals, which we do not have. Meaning we will take all of this with us. 4. 4? What? Why does it say 4? Is there something we're missing? Like, are we missing a chest we could have found along the way? Somewhere. Or was it the 4th experiment, chat? Did they conduct 4 different experiments, and that was one of them? Guess we'll take the tripwire hooks. So I suppose that was it. But let's just get out of here already. Hmm. They failed to protect the laboratory. Because I have come out on top. With special research that they tried so desperately to prevent the ancient builders from finding. Unluckily for them, I am not an ancient builder. Or, in their case, lucky for them, I'm not an ancient builder. If I was, I would have single-handedly doomed all of the ancient builders. There would be nothing left, chat. I would spread chaos throughout the kingdom, chat. There would be no one and nothing left, chat. I would sow distrust upon the kingdom, and there would be no one left to oppose me. And so those that are left that don't oppose me are now the new owners of the kingdom. But alas, I was born too late. Thrust into this world too late. There is no kingdom. There are no ancient builders. It is just me now. Meaning I get to make a kingdom, chat. I get to make a kingdom. I get to keep people under my wings, my protective wings. The wings that I have. The wings of authority. Because I have Formula Y and Compound Z now, chat. Well, not Compound Z yet, I need to find a couple of things, but... Chat. I'm dangerous. No one would ever dare step up to me, chat. Not after my collection of Formula Y. It's inevitable, chat, that anyone that stands up to me will be struck down by the sword of justice. Because this is my world, and if you're in my world, justice dictates you do not belong. And you will be struck down by the righteous hand that I own, that is attached to my arm, that is attached to my body, that is attached to this world. Which by extension makes this world mine. Well, I'll take this Gothic tower that I already went into. Alright, so I'm gonna enter a black zone shortly. Actually, no, I'm not entering a black zone. That's really silly of me. How silly. Oh my god, the black zones just fixed themselves. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot of area I have never seen before now. Trust me, chat. Trust me when I... Whoa! Those mountains are huge! And we're at Y level like 165! 165, dude. That's like 365. That's 200 blocks higher from here. Lithosphere is insane, dude. What the hell? I will conquer these mountains, chat. This is where my kingdom shall be. One day. Not now, but one day, once the materials are gathered. This is where my kingdom shall lie. It is a treacherous mountain to scale, but that is the reason why I choose it for my kingdom. No one shall get in, and no one shall get out easy. The only thing standing in my way that might possibly be here is something called powdered snow, chat. If I try and get to the top of this mountain, and I step into powdered snow, I am going to be mystified, angry even. This world does not get to dictate its ruler's fate. If anything, that is for other people. That's for me to decide. That's not for this world to decide, that's for me to decide. Hello. Hello, Outdoors. Sorry, you came into that. I just suddenly felt a surge of, But look at those Oh my! The view! The view! Hold on. Hold on a minute. I have to do this for you guys. What's it look like with shaders on? What the fuck? Oh! These mountains are grand. This is where my kingdom will be. My kingdom will be atop the mountains! And no one will stop me from building my kingdom atop them. These mountains are mine. And mine only. Anyone who opposes the idea of these mountains being mine will be thrown into the dungeon. The mass surveillance dungeon. Similar to Alcatraz. If Alcatraz was... Oh, hold on. That's not powdered snow, is it? That is. Man, this sucks. Makes me wish I brought leather, damn it. Right, well, I have an idea of what to do now to get over there. Safely, of course. Chat, I shall scale this mountain. And I will claim it as my own. I will build a castle atop the mountain. It will be a legend of brightest hope. It will be a legend of darkest dark. I will throw prisoners into the Dark World dungeon, where it will be very difficult to find your way out. I will create a Dark World dungeon, and anyone I throw into there will be prisoners of that palace. Look at all this iron. I will become Iron Man today, chat. I will be Iron Man. I will be a man of iron. Iron of man. This castle will be a legend of brightest hope. A legend of darkest dark. Watch me gain great wealth on the way up, chat. I will ascend to godhood, climbing this mountain. The Mountain of Crag. And I shall name my castle Castle Crag. Even if it doesn't match up with my name. Welcome back, my friend. I will build myself up to godhood. Then... And then the castle will be built in my name! Even though my name isn't Crag, but don't worry about that. Chat, look at all of this generational wealth that I get to grab for myself. This will not be some ordinary base. No, chat. It will be my castle. It will be my castle upon the mountain top that no one will be able to reach in any normal fashion. Y level 356. Soon enough it will be that, but I'm sure this mountaintop goes up way higher, because look at this. I still have a little ways to climb. This is my mountaintop! Mine! Look how far, look how high this place is. Oh. Oh. The amount of iron I will have on this mountaintop will rival. What would happen if you just plummeted to y equals negative 109? Well, you see, that doesn't exist in Minecraft. It only goes down to negative 64. You know what I mean? So I would fall into the void, my friend. I am not falling for this hubris that you have shown me. Chat, I present to thee the greatest view you have ever seen. When I set this to 64 chunks. 128 chunks. Isn't this view just the greatest thing you've ever seen? Hold on. What's going on? Why is it not doing anything? Why did it stop? Why did it stop rendering the distant chunks? What's going on? Let me reload it. Let me reload it real quick. Chat. Feast your eyes on the view! The view of a lifetime. This mountain will be the most brilliant spot within 128 chunks of spawn. You can just barely see home over there. Just barely. You can just barely see home. This is the greatest view in existence. And you will respect the castle that I build atop the mountain. Everyone will know my name. Everyone will know me! And anyone who refuses to bow down, well, they're on their own. Okay, that's interesting, actually. I don't know what that is. Alright, it's time to go back to 32. That was a ridiculously good view, though, I will say that. Though if we truly want to appreciate it, maybe 48? And not 32 is better? We'll try 48 for a bit. If it proves harder to run, then, you know. Upon here, a castle will be built. A castle that will be remembered for thousands of years. And then archaeologists will dig it back up. Or they will see the crumbled remains one day. And they will not see a failed civilization. They will see a man who achieved godhood in a castle. They will see a man who has achieved unexplainable scientific advancements. This will be the greatest thing. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do a floor so I can just do this a little easier. There we go. There we go. It has been quite flattened now. The mountain goat. A representation of the struggle I may have building on top of here. But now's not the time for nonsense. What it is the time for is to build the greatest kingdom anyone has ever laid their eyes upon. People may or may not be a pawn in my game, but that does not matter. What matters is I build a kingdom greater than the card kingdom. You heard that right? A kingdom greater than the kingdom from Deltarune. You heard this first, folks. A kingdom greater and harder to take down than the card kingdom. Card kingdom that no one technically knows about. Except I do. The car kingdom. No. No. This kingdom isn't a kingdom of cars. It's a kingdom of brightest hope. And it's a kingdom of darkest dark. And there will be no one to stop me from plunging this world into darkness. This castle will be built so high up, even a lightner would have trouble reaching it. We start with a tower. You dare? You dare stand against my kingdom that doesn't even exist yet. I am shocked, baffled even, by the sheer stupidity. You cannot hope to stand against it. We have nothing to do with cars! I am making a castle, but we start with a castle tower. Because that is the foundation for the corners of a castle, of course, are the towers. It also allows you to make big walls, so that no one can reach the other side of the mountain. I do not have nearly enough stone bricks. This is unfortunate. What is fortunate is that I have determination. I am determined to get this castle built. It will not be a castle town. It will be the castle of a kingdom. How dare you call it a cattle car? It is not even remotely related to cattle. How dare you? How dare you speak such insolence? I'm kidding. I'm joking. If you said that by mistake, that's fine. Not that I would have anything against that anyway, it's a joke. My castle will be the greatest castle to ever castle. Currently, I require better land for this castle. Car style? It's whatever. This little bit of land infuriates me. I must get rid of it. My shul. What is a shul? My Delta rune, said Gaster Ringgaster of the Wingding, of the Dingwing, wing da ding ding ding. Ding da ding 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 ba 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 day ba 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 ba. What's going on? Do 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 do. That's what Gaster's like in his own room. He's just vibing to Crazy Frog. This motherfucker is about to pump me with their horns. I'm killing them. They cannot do this to their ruler. They will not be allowed to do this to their ruler. Oh, they just... Wow. Okay. That was what was supposed to happen. I think they just charge in whatever direction they're looking. Sometimes. I think that's how mountain goats work in Minecraft. You know, base game Minecraft that has mountain goats in it for some reason. Microsoft, aka Mr. You will own nothing and be happy. Same with Sony, Mr. You will own nothing and be happy. I do not know why I said that, I just said that. I heard the news, though, about Stop Killing Games being a little fought against in the bill system. You like trains? Of course you do, buddy. Of course you do. I think we need to drop the act of LARP accounts being evil versions of the characters. They're not, honestly. Like, I don't think anyone else interprets a LARPing account on YouTube as like an evil version of the character. They interpret them as someone acting as the character. So, for example, if I said, yo, LARP Deuce, Sonic LARP 995, do you agree that this castle should be built on top of here? You would probably want to be like, yeah, because I'm you. I am you You are me. I would love that castle too. You know, that's how that's what LARP accounts do. No, it's not me. Someone else made that LARP account for me. I have never LARPed, but only on Halloween. LARPing is acting, my friend. You know, people like LARPaplier and LARPsepticeye and, you know, LARPdepie. You know, people like them that, you know, realize that it's called live action role playing, and so they live action role play as YouTubers. Yeah, when you call yourself Sonic LARP 995, the implication is you're live action role playing. Yeah, which is what intrigues me, is that it seems that the YouTube community have banded together to say, this is what LARPing means. This is what LARPing actually is. When you actually call it live action role playing, you gotta roleplay as a character, not like be an evil version of the character, which would imply you're using the wrong definition of LARPing for that one. You know, just a small little discussion about it, because, you know, poor saps that actually LARP in real life got a bad name now because of that, and I just don't think that's any fair. What people want to call these so-called LARPers, there's a simple word for it. It's called being a poser. A poser. A faker. Fake. Fake fan, you know? That's what it really means. So I don't get it, man. Why do people want to try and reinvent the definition of words that don't need reinvented? I don't get it. There's no reason to do that. LARP stamps? I don't know what that means. I know you're not a fake. I know you're not a fake fan. I know you're not. I'm just saying that people have taken the definition the wrong way. And it would certainly help that if you're calling yourself, if you're joining the trend, that you do the trend, at least in some capacity. Like, you can just be like someone lurking in streams, and that's totally fine. But you gotta roleplay as me, man. At least do that, and, you know, that is part of the definition of it. Now Chud is also revented to a whole different meaning. It used to be mucker. Huh? Someone's making a LARPer army. Interesting. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I want to have a LARPing account, because let's be for fucking real here. I already stream like on weekdays, right? And I barely have the motivation to put out a YouTube short. So, what makes you think, right, that I want to make another account that is essentially just as, if not more active than my main account, if I barely have the motivation to do stuff on my main as is? You know? I barely have the motivation to stream. Only reason I do it is because, I know that with time I will get money and I will be able to improve the content on this channel. That's the only reason I'm motivated to, stream on this channel. I know that, when I get enough money, I can actually start making proper videos and, relax and all that. But as of right now, all I can really afford to do is just keep streaming. And do it in the way that gets me the most money in a sense, I'm not greedy or anything, I just need to improve my equipment before I can do proper streaming and proper video making, so... This is about all I can afford at this point. There's a reason until you came around why I didn't have, where I had a very cheap-looking PNG tuber avatar. It's because, well, I don't got money. And YouTube, as of right now, forces me to wait until I get $100. And after I get $100, I get to actually cash out at that point. And I haven't reached the $100 threshold yet. So I have to keep going, Gotta keep trying. $100, yes. I'm not joking. That is the bare minimum that YouTube asks for me to make. For some reason, YouTube prefers it that I make that much in a month. I think it's better if you recommend my streams to people, right? You start pushing my streams out to friends, start doing all that. I know you can't because you don't got, like, a Discord, and any social media you have is just... At that point, it's just a Roblox, and I don't think you can send links on Roblox. Alright, well, try your best to spread my name amongst friends. Try your best, try your hardest. If you can't do anything, that's totally fine. But I want anyone else currently watching right now to share this stream with friends right now. Get them involved. Get them involved. Get them watching. You know what? I don't think any music's playing, so let me just turn on the Ultra Kill music again. You actually hear it too. Alright. I would play something other than Ultra Kill music, but at this point, like... The only other music I could think of is Delta music, but, we all know Materia loves, not striking, but claiming stuff. Even if they share the revenue, I would rather, at very best, I'm not forced to share revenue at the very latest. You know what I mean? Just did it. If you don't get any more stream viewers than usual, no, you won't be a failure. Be for real for a second, man. You won't be a failure. You'll have tried your best, and that's better than failure. That's a lot better than failure. if you actually tried. Usually a lot of people would rather sit down and do nothing. And you know what? Those people, they tend to fail more often than anyone else. Right? Because they just sit there and just let things happen. But you tried to change things, and for that, you're not a failure. I can say that much. No problem, man. One thing I would recommend is, you know, being less harsh on yourself, because from that alone I can tell you're probably a little too harsh on yourself, or there's stuff going on in your life that makes you doubt yourself quite a bit. I'd recommend kind of keeping thoughts about yourself more lighthearted, right? Like, if you tried something and you failed something, you'd be like, at least I tried. Right? Just try your hardest, and don't be harsh to yourself about things, right? Alright. Good to know that you'll be trying. Because trying makes you better than many other people on the planet. And you know, there's 8 billion people. So you'd be better than quite a number of those people, I will say. I'll focus on decorating, like, the floor here, and making the terrain look about as natural as the terrain around it, but for now I just want to focus on making the floor, you know, exist. Good amount of space for, you know, building a castle, if anything. What? What's going on? I'm guessing you got some people. I suppose if you sound that happy about it. My elemental power is green? I see. Interesting. I do say interesting for a reason, but it's more of a personal reason, if anything. Oh, I don't get the reference. So what I'm going to do for the castle, though, is I'm going to make it so that it forces people to jump repeatedly as much as possible. You know, waste their hunger, giving me an advantage, being able to see them more. You know, that sort of thing. I feel like that is a pretty important thing when building this castle, is making sure they waste as much resources getting up here as possible. Lego Ninjago movie? I haven't seen that, actually. I'll probably see that at some point, but I don't guarantee anything, really. fork and a knife. Let me actually get some extra coal from this vein here. I should play Sonic music? Well, Sega put out something recently that was something along the lines of, you can't use our assets in streaming without our permission. And I'd rather not get smited down by Sega, especially after something they're a part of did something terrible for gaming yesterday. Hey, if you're curious, this is news from like yesterday related to Stop Killing Games. If you know what Stop Killing Games even is, which I hope you do. It's been like a universal thing for gaming. Basically, it's a movement where, you know, people basically want developers to give end of life to games that would otherwise not have end of life. You know, because if you bought the game, at least keep it playable, you know what I mean? Like, offering an alternative, like, of the game or something, like an offline playable version of it or whatever, right? Things like that. Well, Sega is a part of the ESA, which is the person that is, which are the group of people, which is comprised of a lot of companies that are completely against this ideology because they want to make gamers be very miserable, pretty much, is the gist of it. Because they would lose a lot of... Because apparently they want to be lazy and not do anything to keep gamers satisfied. Well, what if I told you that because Sega's a part of it, they would agree to what the ESA says in government hearings. So there's a version of the bill that they want to implement, happening in California, basically. Basically, the bill in California literally just asks, hey, at least provide something for the players that, you know, played the game. Like, even compensation for, like, buying stuff in the game that they can no longer play, right? Like, refunds or whatnot. The ESA went out and said, as a counter-argument, that Minecraft private and community servers, as well as Call of Duty private and community servers, are illegal. I'm not making this shit up. The ESA lied. They lied! I'm gonna kill you. Right. So the ESA lied. They said that Minecraft servers are illegal, despite the fact that Mojang freely lets people use server software to run Minecraft servers on. They have server software for people to run servers on. And yet the ESA, who, you know, Microsoft, the owner of Minecraft, is a part of, Sony PlayStation, Sega's a part of it too. The vice president, who, you know, pretty much everyone agrees with. You know, the vice president is a girl. Well, that has nothing to do with it, but she was like, oh, this is illegal. The companies have the right to protect their intellectual property. Private and community servers redistribute the game, or some dumb stuff like that. And she's like, it's a black market, we need to be able to protect our intellectual property! And I just sat here thinking, like, dude. Servers do none of that. They don't distribute the game. And the worst part is that after they got backlash the first time around, which was like the same day, they doubled down on their statement saying that, oh, it's the black market, illegal, this is illegal stuff, completely illegal, what, you can't have a private or community server for any game that you love, that you paid for. And it's just like, my brother in Christ, sit down. You cannot be serious when you say something like that. The fact that, despite the fact that the ESA has said terrible shit like this in the past, you know, Sega's been a part of the ESA for a long time at this point. Right? And they have said terrible shit in the past like that as well. So something tells me that if Sega is still part of the ESA, despite all of that, despite the new statements as well, why the hell do they even appear to care about Sonic fans? And I'll tell you why. It's just PR. That's all it is. It's just PR. It's a PR move. Because no other company provides the amount of freedom that Sonic Team does, so they use that as PR to appear good and outstanding compared to a lot of other companies. But in reality, they're just as terrible as any other company, because they're part of the ESA. And the ESA is known for making consumer rights, in terms of video games, a lot more terrible. So, I'm pretty sure that Sega cares just about as much as any other company about their fans. And that's it. Right? That's it. That's all that needs to be said. And I'm tired, as a Sonic fan, of pretending like Sega actually cares about us at this point. It's very clear, because they're part of the ESA, and, you know, meaning they silently agree with these statements, that they do not care about their own consumer base. You know, Sonic fans are the majority of their consumer base, right? They do not care about them. They never did. In fact, remember when they took down, like, remember when they took down that one Roblox Sonic fan game? You know, the good one? The Disaster? Well, that was out of a place of not giving a fuck about their community. And I feel like this is that the ESA thing should be a wake-up call to a lot of Sonic fans, because, well, I mean, if they cared truly about their consumer base, they would not let Sonic Speed Simulator have gotten this bad. They would not have let it gotten that bad. Because let me tell you, as a new player to Sonic Speed Simulator, it is microtransaction hell. There is no way that a company that cares about official products would allow something like that to be made. Well, in the first state that Sonic Speed Simulator actually came out in, it was actually kind of good. But then they started to shitify it, and Sega was still in cahoots with the people that made Sonic Speed Simulator, you know, Game Fam, the big guys. And what pisses me off the most about that, right, is that Game Fam, it is very easy to find out that they are very greedy individuals. And greedy individuals do not make good products. They may seem to make good products, but the only reason people even stick with Sonic Speed Simulator are one of two things. One, the, what's it called? That thing that humans do when they pay a lot for something, or they stick to something for a long time and therefore don't want to leave it. There's that, and the fact that, you know, there was another point I was going to make related to that, but, oh my goodness, I'm just... If Sega really cares about their consumer base, right, if they really care about the fans of Sonic that actually have, that pour a lot of passion into fan projects and all that stuff, They would have shown that for a long time. They would have shown that within the past few years. But lo and behold, the only caring people that actually ended up caring, get this, was the current director of Sonic the Hedgehog. One of the only people that actually still cares about the fans. I don't know if it's the director or whatever, but they were the guy who took, who were answering questions about Sonic Frontiers like a year or so ago. And, all that stuff. Izuki, I think it was. I'm not too sure. I don't even remember their name, man. I just haven't really been doing a lot of Sonic things recently. But the main point still stands, right? If you really care about your fans, if you really care about the people who actually put passion into the projects that they make, if you care any bit about that, why take down the disaster? Why would you allow projects like Sonic Omens to make the light, which, was actually making money off of Patreon, and still does make money off of Patreon, in a way? Like, they still have avenues to make money off of Omens. And yet, these people made a product that, somehow allowed you to see, something undesirable about Maria. Something you would not normally think a sane developer would put into the game. Whatever. I'm not really gonna talk much more about Sonic Omens. But the point is, if you care about your consumer base, you would not allow official projects by people like GameFam to end up being terrible as they ended up being. You don't do that. I don't get the point of it. If you make something a quote-unquote official product, you should stick with that official product. You should stick with it. You should make sure it doesn't get too out of hand. But Sonic Speed Simulator, you can pay $20 for a permanent magnet. $20. A third the price of a full game on a free product. There's also the fact, you want to open multiple eggs at once? Well, spend a ton of money to open way more eggs at once. There's also, more predatory microtransactions than just that, and that's, only a small portion of those. I just don't understand why Sonic fans continue to think that Sega cares about them, when it's very clear that their presence in the ESA kind of proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that they don't actually care. I mean, there's the fact that they also, there have been reported incidents in history where, something related to Sonic Generations, and Sega were just like, yep, this is canon, and the fans were like, no, this can't be canon, this Sonic can't be from the same dimension as this Sonic, for some reason, even though, it is heavily implied nowadays that, they are basically, that they are in the same timeline, right? Apparently. Because, Sonic Prime was thrown into the mix, and then it was found out, hey, Sonic Superstars is in between Sonic Mania and, Sonic Adventure 1. Which heavily implies, right, that Sega is just I don't know, they're just doing stuff for the fans to keep the PR for Sonic fans, because they know Sonic fans are crazy, man. As a Sonic fan myself, I can definitely say that us Sonic fans are crazy. We are very crazy, right? I can admit that. I can admit that I am crazy to a degree, but Sega being in the ESA just kind of proves that maybe we should not put our full faith into a company where their first thoughts are money first and customer experience later. I mean, there's Valve, but Valve doesn't do that. Valve is an actual company that we should respect because, unlike any other company, what the fuck? Look at the customer service. It's fast. It's quick. Clearly they care about the customer experience. Though when it comes to Sonic Speed Simulator, you're thrusted into a world where microtransactions are fucking expensive. Which, I don't know, man. I'm just getting a little ahead of myself at this point. I'm just not very happy that Sega's part of the ESA due to what the ESA has done today. And I feel like if they really care about their fans, they'll just leave the ESA. If they don't leave the ESA, well, I don't know about keeping my Sonic character being a Sonic character at that point. You know what I mean? Exactly. The ESA has done nothing but hurt individuals that actually care about, you know, their games, that care about owning games, that care about, you know, playing games, having fun, not letting big-ass companies that don't care about you get in the way of you enjoying yourself, right? You know, the joy of, you know, getting home from school one day, then going to your friend's house with a copy of a game you actually own, so that you and your friend can play it after school, you know? That's how video games used to be, but they're not like that anymore. Because big companies want to shove all of this down our throats and say, oh, but it's intellectual property. We need to protect our property. When in reality, it's just they don't want us reselling games. And they don't want us doing things that don't make them money, right? They want to get involved in that process as well. So then we get things like, for example, literally yesterday as well, right? Sony announced that they are making every single game that they make starting in January of 2028 completely digital. Completely digital. Completely. I don't know why, but they want to do the same thing GTA 6 is doing and either offer a digital code in the box instead of having an actual, you know, disc in the case. Or they just want to put it exclusively on the PlayStation Store, which, you know, forces you to have internet to enjoy your favorite games. You may be thinking, well, digital code, it's a code in a box. Well, that requires internet to even use the code and play the game, right? What makes it even worse is that means that you can no longer share that game with people. The closest you will get is putting your account on multiple PlayStations, but judging by the way that might start being done, they're probably going to make it so you can only have one PlayStation account per PlayStation as well, which would probably make sense as a decision to try and counter that as well. And they'll probably put it behind some bullshit statement of something like, you know, piracy or something like that. That people are pirating our games because, you know, it's on their system and they can pirate it on their other account, you know. That seems very likely to be the case as what's going to happen soon as a counter to actually being able to share games with your friends. You know, getting people, multiple people, forcing multiple people even to basically buy the same game, which means more profits for the companies at the end of the day. I am not very happy about that ever being the case, but unfortunately, it seems like to me that these companies just don't understand that the reason we like them in the first place is that the products they offered us were fine, dandy, and fair. Now, they still do have fans, but the fans aren't nearly as numerous and enthusiastic about the products as they used to be. Because guess what? The products they keep churning out are either slop or they're terrible. Or, in the case that they do push out a good game, it's got some sort of caveat to it at the end of the day. Like, for example, the new Wolverine game coming out looks cool. What's the caveat? It won't be on PC because they suddenly stopped putting their games on PC. I just don't understand why these companies keep wanting to keep doing it. I don't understand why these companies keep wanting to do this, because honestly, I just never understood. Video games used to be fun, now I barely play any other than Roblox, Fall Guys, occasionally Minecraft, and very rarely Fortnite. See, that's the thing. The only good games that exist nowadays are ones that were made quite a good while ago. And even then, the good games nowadays are just, you know, stream started stuttering. Oh, I did drop some frames. It's fine though. It's kind of expected after running the world for a while. It's kind of expected, man. It's fine. But you get the point, right? I just don't feel like we should keep supporting companies that keep doing this, and I feel like that now is a better time than never to start telling them that, you know, if they're going to keep ruining video games, that we just won't buy video games at all, and we'll just keep playing the ones we already have, that we already own, that we already enjoy. And if we are required to find a way to make them multiplayer, then so be it, right? Go back to old video games. Go back to playing the video games you already own. And stop supporting the companies that don't let you do it. Right? It's a very simple solution. Because, guess what? I don't want to condone it, but you can obviously find older games on the internet. Find them. Totally in stores, by the way. In specific stores. But, yeah. I think that we need to start playing older video games and not buying new ones. Because if we do that, if we drive up player numbers on their newer games, then clearly they're not going to understand what made gaming so special, what made gaming so widely renowned, what made gaming so good in the first place. You know, back in the PlayStation 2 era of gaming, back in the... hell, even far back to like the NES and pre-NES era, when you made a video game, you had to bug test it to hell and back. You had to do proper testing before you released the game. Right? Games had to be of quality. If a game wasn't of quality, then the perception of that game would rapidly change. And no one would really buy the game as much as, you know, they ended up being bought. So, you know, it just made sense at that point in time to actually make a good game, to bug test it, to make sure it's fun, to make sure that the game is enjoyable. Nowadays, that seems to be a tall ask for some reason, even though companies were used to doing this a long-ass time ago. I think it's time they start doing this again as well, because, God forbid, I want to enjoy a game on a Saturday afternoon that I get home from school, only to find out that the game is fucking terrible. You know what I mean? People used to wait outside of a store in tents for games like Halo and Halo 2. People loved gaming back in the day. And while not nearly as many people got into gaming as there are now, The gaming community was far more prominent back then because games were good back then. But now, you'd be lucky to even have any game that is any semblance of fun, because companies just want to keep pushing this idea of just push out games to grow bigger and bigger in the stock market. And they don't understand that what made games good in the first place was quality. Quality that ensured that the game was fun, that in the era it was in, it looked decent. Nowadays, game quality, in terms of graphics, doesn't even matter. We don't have to do that anymore. Because we got games like Ultra Kill that's got PS1 style graphics, and look at how many people adore and love that game. Look at Deltarune. Very, very popular game now. Because, you know, it's a good game. So many games exist that are good, that are of various graphical styles, that I feel like you could literally make a new game on an older engine, and it could still end up being popular if you made it just right, if you made it fun, if you gave it the quality that people back then actually decided to give games. But instead of going back to the roots, these companies would rather keep pushing us, and keep pushing us. You know, keep pushing us over and over and over to see what they can get away with. They've turned gaming into like a... Okay, here's the best analogy I can make for what they turned gaming into, right? Remember... Alright, I can't really find a good analogy, but basically, they started trying to turn gaming, I wouldn't say into an industry, because it's been that way since nearly the beginning, but I would like to say that in the beginning, gaming was more of a niche, right? It was something for the whole family to enjoy, right? In the beginning, games were made because people wanted other people to have something to enjoy while making some cash so they can fund more, and then they can get more cash from that, so on and so forth. That was the whole loop of game developers, is that they make a game, they make sure it's fun and appealing, they send it out to people. After it's been bug tested, they do that again with the new money they've made so that they can make a better game. And the cycle just keeps happening, right? And it's gotten to a point where, you know, big tech companies have started coming in and started techifying it, if you know what I mean, where they just make it where they corrupt the market. Because all they're doing when they corrupt the market is making it worse for the gamers themselves, the people that went into gaming for a reason. And the worst part about this is that as a result of this end-shitification, as a result of this, you know, corruption to the industry, gaming has become more of... It's become more of a profit-driven thing than what it used to be. And I feel like these companies need to And I feel like these companies need to realize that that wasn't what drove people to enjoy it in the first place. They've decided that profits first are going to be exactly what they are going to have. Even though profits long-term don't matter if you can't make an enjoyable product. But let's circle right on back to the ESA. What does this have to do with the ESA pushing this? Pushing the fact that they want to make something like that illegal. Hosting community and private servers for games. Well, it's because they want to push their own narrative yet again. They want to push the narrative that this is a black market thing, that it is an illegal thing, towards people that aren't gamers. Because they want to win. They want to get their money. They want to spend less effort actually making games. They don't want to be forced into having more effort put into making games. And unfortunately, this circles back to Sega's involvement in it. Because, as you all know, or may not know, Sega is a part of the ESA itself. So is Microsoft, so is Sony. So these companies that are telling you that, oh, we care about you, especially Sega, don't actually care. They usually agree with the statements that the ESA makes. And the ESA has, they've done it. They've made the statement. And despite the fact they've made just as, if not more, terrible statements in the past, I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry, man. But basically, the whole entire thing I'm trying to get at here is that because Sega has been a part of the ESA for quite a long while, and the ESA for quite a long while has been saying terrible things to try and get their own way, I don't think Sonic fans should, truthfully believe that Sega has their best interests in mind. I don't think they should believe that Sega is a good company by any means. Because behind the scenes they're believing this sort of stuff. They're probably saying this sort of stuff, behind closed doors themselves. I'm just saying, man, if you're at least going to believe that Sega's a good company, at least have the facts, dude. Sega's in the ESA. They've been in there for quite a long while. The VP just went and said horrible shit. So, putting two and two together, especially the fact that Microsoft is in there as well, and they own Minecraft, and Minecraft actually pushes out this server software currently that allows you to host servers on it, leads me to believe that unfortunately these companies do not have our best interests in mind. If they did, they wouldn't be a part of the ESA. They wouldn't be lobbying people to make terrible statements that go against gaming as a whole. But hey, I mean, I don't know how much money Sega might have put into lobbying against that bill, but there's a big chance that they did put a lot of money into lobbying against it, which, makes them a terrible company, just like every other company that we call terrible. It makes them just as terrible. So unfortunately, it is the way it is. Sega is not as innocent as they try to appear in the public. The ESA is something they've been a part of for quite a long time, and, well, I don't think they're really going to disagree with anything they say anytime soon. Because if they did disagree with some of the stuff said last year, related to Stop Killing Games, and the year before, well, they would have left the ESA by now. They would have left the ESA if they realized, oh shit, maybe the ESA doesn't have our customers' best ideals in mind. Right? They would have left because, if they truly believed that, they wouldn't even be in the ESA in the first place. And if they truly cared, well, they wouldn't be doing it for purely PR reasons, which being in the ESA kind of implies. They're only kind to fans strictly because they can be, and because it makes them look good. That's all I'll say. That was a lot of exposition I just put out there for, like, probably upwards of, like, 10 to 20 minutes straight. I'm so sorry, man. I'll be right back, actually, in a quick second. I will go ahead and put up the screen so I can use the restroom.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, Sonic Adventure 2! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Wow! Oh my god! We are playing this, baby! Yeah! Yeah! Wow! We are getting Sonic! Sonic! Wow! Sonic Adventure 2, bitch! Sonic Adventure 2! Yeah, bitch! Wow! Oh my god! Oh! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god! Wow!
Realize it, yeah.
You know what that means? Fish!
There you go. I fixed you. I have a
Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
That's not my name. Also, no air. Please help.
Hold on. If Batman is up there, then where's my chief?
Hello there, green guy. You're not Batman, but you'll do for now. What is that?
Judd.
Hey, do you have a prescription for the
Cream of mushroom.
Fine.
Fuck!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, Sonic Adventure 2! Holy shit!
I'm back. That was that was a lot. I went and used the restroom, so we're back now. This time, I'm not gonna say a lot of exposition now, because clearly I have more important things to do in this Minecraft world than worry about that, you know? Because we are doing a series after all. We're doing a Minecraft Forever World series. Let's focus on that, right? Let's focus on Forever World stuff now. We've talked enough about all that, and I'd rather not worry much more about it, aside from the discussion we just had. Look at all this dark candy, by the way. All this dark candy. Deltarune dark candy. Grab that. Grab all the dark candy. There's another one of those thingies in the first tree. I'm doing my thing. Let me do my thing. I'm probably gonna get to it. You've got me getting to it now. Oh, golden one. Nice. But basically, to sum it all up, because of the ESA stuff, us Sonic fans should really stop believing that Sega has our best interests in mind, like, 24/7 as much as we do. We should really stop glazing Sega 24/7 like that. That is all. I will stop now. Hmm. Hmm. Let me take a look at a couple things real quick. Alright. So, we have been on the stream for 2.5 hours. I'm gonna stay here for like 30 more minutes and then we'll end it off. Right? Like, that's fair, isn't it? Wouldn't that be fair? I think it would be fair. 30 more minutes, and then stream will go bye-bye. Stream went bye-bye. Apparently a lot of people liked my short stream. I'm just checking out both streams real quick. Just to see what numbers I did. Alright, I think I did pretty good numbers for now. I'll just do everything else normally. Stream go kaboom! Did it? No, it did not. I think it's just your device, if anything. Probably. Not really sure. We need more diamonds, is what we need. We can also upgrade this chest to, gold in a minute if we actually lock in. So, leather and gold ingots. Both are easy to make. Alright. A lot more room for a lot of random things. Don't you look at that. Both inventories are fully filled now. So, now we have plenty more room for something like, Actually, hold on. We have room for one more thing. Yeah, we do. Maybe it's in the inventory section. Yeah, it is. We actually put both of them in here so I can do that. Then we can do other things. Okay. Okay. Let's fix our abyssal axe real quick. And let's go ahead and find a spot to... I'd probably want to find, like, a spot I can dig down into. Preferably. We'll have to see. But, you know. Ooh, arrows for free? Thank you. Not very many, just one, but one is better than none. Where am I even... Oh yeah, I should probably fill out most of these black squares that are around, because it's a weird thing happening where, large portions of the map are just kind of, you know, broken. So let me go ahead, fix this big black square first, and then I'll, fix any other ones that need to be fixed, because, whew boy, I only fixed 2 big black squares, when it came to the mountain, so I should just, fix the others, you know? Don't worry about any stream stuttering if we get across it. It should be fine. If anything, it's not the stream stuttering. It would probably be me stuttering, honestly. If you see any stuttering in the game, that is actually in the game, not me. Because my computer isn't the best. And I would probably need a better computer to give you guys a better stream. So, I mean, there's that. Now, there is a chance that I could get a PC soon. There's a chance. It's not guaranteed, but if I keep getting money from people, the stream experience will be a lot better. And I guarantee you, the more people that help, the quicker that happens. So, you know, this forever world will live on, as implied, forever. We're like 400 blocks away from that big black square. I can't wait to fix it just by just barely getting into it or something like that. About 400 blocks away from it, but we won't need to be within 0 blocks of it in order to fix it. We just need to be within chunk rendering distance, and yep, that fixed it! Which is great, because now we can make the world map look a lot better, so... Time to go this way! Directly this way now. It is a long journey ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen, but... instead of trying to find a cave opening, that will be our secondary objective. Our primary objective will just be finding these huge black squares and making sure they are not huge black squares anymore. Making sure that the world map is a world map and not a partial world map. Right? That's what we want to do here. That's what we need to do here. Alright, that should, help. Right, so as I said, the last thing we'll do on stream is we will get to these areas, which will, destroy the black squares, And then we'll basically go to the edges of the map to do it again, because clearly the rendering wasn't done 100% properly on Zero's world map. So all we need to do is fix that. So here we go. If we find any cave openings on the way, I'll just mark them on the world map. If you're here right now, like the stream. Yeah, not much else to it, really. Alright, so that's one big black square removed. Meaning we get this awesome looking autumn forest on our world map. Stream go kaboom! It go kaboom! Alright, so we keep going this way. Eventually, the other square's gotta give, right? There we go. That's another square down, or at least a chunk of square. A chunk of square. The next one's going to be in the ocean, so, gotta prepare just a little bit here. A maple boat sounds nice because of its colors, so let's do that. Let's do it. To it. There's this little square up here. Gotta get rid of this one now. Alright, so that square is now gone. We will go over here now. Oh, we're coming upon the dark square. Is this a true dark square? Or is it just actually not generated terrain yet? Let's see here. Oh, that is certainly generated terrain. Let's go further and see how far this actually goes out. Just looking out of curiosity here. Because if this does go out as far as I think it does, then we've got a mission. And that mission will be to keep going. To keep making the world map consistent, in a way. Oh, it's another dark area. How much will be generated out here, I wonder? Does anyone know how to get to the lake? The lake? Okay, there's one more. One more time. Yes, the train does go this far out because I pre-generated it all, so it's time to fix my errors. One dark area at a time. Sigh. I'm gonna do it this way, by getting in between these two. And hoping this gets a 2-in-1 in a way. And that looks like there's something in the water. Oh, that seems to be doing the trick. Aha! Oh, it's a cataclysm structure. Well then, flip my jacks and call me a dilly daller. Something. I don't know. I don't know. We will be going around you. We will not be touching any of your content until later on in the series, so you can calm the hell down there. I know you're excited. We'll get to you at some point. Just not today. Oh, you mean to get out? So Distant Horizons stopped generating chunks. We'll probably see why soon, but all I really need is these black squares. So if anything, it not generating anything right now is actually good, because that means I get to spend more time doing this. Okay, what is our progress now? Oh, won't you look at that? We're mapping out the ocean, which is great. I just wish I had a faster way of getting around, which will probably lead to me installing something for next stream, but we'll see. Let's actually go around the ocean monument. Don't exactly want to be attacked by guardians today. Alright. Here we go. Another 2 chunks. Another 2 big squares being fixified. No! There's not. Oh, there's another one! Dude! They're less common than ocean monuments, but still. Man. Well, I guess I accidentally got that achievement. Didn't want to. Just want to fix a little problem. Maybe explore a little bit. Whoa. The sudden disinterizing stuff? Why? How much should we fix? Oh! Well, that's actually good. I don't think we'll be needing a third one of those, thank you very much, so I can avoid, fixing those. Oh, fuck you, you piece of... I'll just swim now, it doesn't matter. May look a little janky, but who cares? We can do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and head home now, actually. Alright. That'll be end of stream. Thank you guys for attending it. You know, all that jazz. See ya.